Hi guys, I'm Gary.
I'm JD.
And this is Investigating Comic Club, where we chronologically read, review, discuss, and rate specific crucial stories of the medium.
Indeed, and I hope that you guys will subscribe to the channel to become members of Comic Club yourself. Stick around till the end of the video to give us your rating in our comic quality poll. And after the Misfit Picture Show's potential bloopers, if the episode provides them.
And it will, hopefully.
Today we're doing House of X, Issue 3 by Jonathan Hickman, Pepe Larraz, and Marte Gracia.
Yes.
What do you think, Aaron?
Well, the title is Once More Unto the Breach. And that jumped out at me as a title that I should have heard from the past. That's what it just felt like a throwback title. Which was,
yeah, it definitely is. There have been many stories in the past that have been called that. It works with this one, obviously, because Moira X, once more onto the breach every single time she dies and comes back.
Yeah, here we go. Yep.
Here we go again.
But yeah, no, so I like the title. I like the cover. It looks great.
Yeah, I liked the cover.
It was fun. I remember seeing the preview of it last week, like into this week, and looking forward to it. And it probably just because of the characters that are on the cover.
Yeah, I noticed because of the cover, it immediately kind of hit me how few of the familiar X characters we've really seen. And it was cool to see, an actual team of X-Men gather this issue.
Yeah. And it, again, starts with the whole, a quote. Professor X, you make me so proud. And it goes right into where that quote comes from.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which was cool.
Yeah. How do you feel about... I feel very skeptical of Professor X and Magneto from that
first
sequence.
Opening sequence into the title. Cyclops is his point of view, and then you having them just being like, no, it's okay, there's no need to be. It's almost like just like
no, exactly. These aren't the droids you're looking for. No, it really did feel like a manipulation of Cyclops.
Oh yeah, almost just like in any movie or storyline that somebody is being manipulated into being a suicide bomber. In that sense, where it's like, you're doing this for us.
Wow.
Whatever happens right now, it's because, look, you might die, you might not. You can't die because you've created all this. Wow. But deep down, it's like, yeah, you're on a suicide mission right now.
That's pretty grim and dark.
Yeah.
But you saying that, it's pretty accurate. That's depressing. I did almost feel like, come on, Scott.
Yeah.
You're smarter than this.
Yeah.
But he just looks so highly upon Professor X.
Yeah. It was, is one of the characters named Monet?
That
was great. It's my sister's name.
Shout out to your sister.
I had to write that down. I was like, that is so cool. But it was cool to see first bit of banter dialogue that we actually get to read in this world.
Yeah, we're starting to see the dynamic of the X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought that Hickman nailed Logan, which I feel like Logan, you kind of, once you get that character, I feel like you get that character. Yeah. I loved his use of Kurt, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Immediately felt like swashbuckling, winking the eye, his devilish grin. Like immediately I felt all of Kurt's.
I haven't seen him enough in anything like me, but just again from the movies and that him in here, I was so excited to have him be a part of it, and just even like seeing the whole and jumping in and in that whole moment, and like the writing and then the art of creating that character of Nightcrawler in there. It's like, I was excited to see it.
Hickman nails him, and the artist nails him. He's just a joy to kind of read about.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really cool. One of the things I felt, again, when this team is assembled and Scott is talking to them all, he felt kind of like a drone. There might be some casualties of innocent humans. It's like, not good enough. Not good enough for the X-Men. We
stand by no casualties.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's 3,000 people like that could possibly, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I loved that Logan did say, nobody up there is innocent because they are creating machines to annihilate a species. Mm-hmm. That's a very Logan thing to say. Yep. I feel like, what has happened to Scott? Again, I haven't read much the last few years, so I'm not sure. And I think I mentioned that there has been some controversy with that character over the past several years. Remember I mentioned that? Yeah. So I don't know if this
there was actually a lot of people who
asked
that question. I think even at Comic-Con there was people who raised their hand.
Oh, really?
And were asking questions about Scott's point of view and how how Hickman was going to address that.
Okay, cool. I love the ship taking off from the moon. Mm-hmm. That's super cool. That Krakoa, that's another base that we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
Pretty quickly we get the tech page about the machines, their evolution. You know how I've been kind of pushing towards that, like, actually I think it was maybe the episode that you weren't here, I said that when Mother Mold came into it and Hickman kind of established that, I felt like even with maybe just a panel that he should have established that a bit more. It could have resonated.
Oh, yeah.
But for you, learning about this for the first time, how did you feel about the pacing and this information now coming to light?
I agree. Because of what we're doing here, I have more patience, I think, than others.
Okay.
With where I need answers. Okay. Because when I read this tech page, it was like for the first time, like I felt smart. Where I was like, I understand this. I'm getting, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, so it was cool to see how it all kind of connected the dots. Where words even I understand a little more now, or at least are familiar with because of the last few issues. So then I'm able to go, that makes sense. Sentinel, Master Mold, going down that list.
So almost in like a retrospective way, a bunch of things were connected to you. Yeah. And it kind of resonated still pretty coolly. Yeah. Like, that's cool. That's awesome.
That tech page goes right into Myra's timeline.
Bam. Yeah.
Which goes over everything we've just read in the last 4 issues. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, everything, even if there's things you weren't sure about another, it kind of go, nope, that's all this is lining up to this.
Yeah, it is dialing it in, and I am impressed with Hickman's placement of the jigsaw pieces. Yeah. You know, I have disagreed here and there, like, he may have done this or he may have not done this, but you at least see nothing is sloppy. These are choices of his, and this is where he is choosing to introduce and lay the foundation.
Yeah.
And him as a writer doing it in that way, I respect it. I think it's really cool. Yeah. I think it's really cool. Like, I may have done it differently. You may have done it differently. Yeah. Different storytellers tell things differently. But I think, like you said, it made you feel, you used the word smart. You always sell yourself a little short with that. But it is cool that it links up into a way that you feel clink, clink, clink. You know what I mean? Like, it all lining up. And that fuels your excitement. Yeah.
I felt paid off. I felt,
And here we are. This is now officially halfway through the story.
Yeah.
And a crazy density to this story. But paced in a way that you, as a brand new reader, you are digesting it in a way that, you're enjoying what you're eating.
I mean, exactly. I'm just like, okay, give me more. Keep it coming. I felt even good about when Project Achilles came up, talking about the maximum security prison. Can't remember if it was talked about in maybe the first issue. And then, the little that I know about super powerful mutants and stuff and going back. But I even wrote down before turning the page, Sabretooth. So it was a cool feeling, like whether or not that was like, it's a given or it's not. It was still a cool, like...
You anticipated it and it paid off.
Yeah.
If it's resonating with you in a way like that, I feel like Hickman is a skilled enough storyteller that it's deliberate on his part. Yeah. I bet that he would be nice. You know what I mean? If he heard you say something like that, he'd be like, cool, nailed it.
And he just looks awesome.
This artist, he's really good. I am unfamiliar with this artist. When it was announced that he was the artist on the book, I just was kind of like, okay. But
it looks
when
like
he's
elegantly
spinning there-
masculine with, you know, like that pops off the page. Again, hope it pops off the page. But it just, the detailed and like the body all around, and you can tell he's a big guy.
Yeah, it's cool because I have seen endless fights between Sabretooth and Wolverine. And anybody that's been reading X-Men comics for any amount of time has seen far too many, honestly, fights between Sabretooth and Wolverine. I want to see this Sabretooth fight this Wolverine by this artist. Like, I cannot. I want it.
Yeah.
I want it. And I'll feel cheated if we don't get it.
Yeah.
At about this point, when they were having the conversation in the ship and Scott was saying, casualties this, casualties that, and Jean, she disagreed with it, but she was kind of still passive. You know, wasn't aggressively like, wait, what's happening? I felt for the first time that this story arc, I think, is going to end with Moira dying again and everyone failing. And the X-Men #1, the launch, is going to be Moira's next life. That this is an inevitable fail.
Which life do you think this is? Because
whatever one it is.
Yeah.
Because he has said this is 10, and he has mentioned possibly an 11.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like the end of this miniseries, this is our series Bible. Death, now moving on. What did they do wrong? What didn't they do wrong? We're going to anticipate things. Things are going to echo like, oh no, moving forward. I'm getting goosebumps. But I do think that that's what Hickman is planning and going towards. I don't think that these can be our X-Men heroes leading into the next decade of X-Men stories.
Yeah. No, I was thinking that same thing. I was thinking that same thing is like,
I don't want to
as much as I love these guys, as much as I love them from what I know of them, this timeline,
this interpretation
of them, you feel bad, you feel like they're on the suicide mission, but it's not a... I did after that moment, once he sent them off and they took on the ship and everything, not knowing what was coming, I still was like intrigued in that moment of wondering who is going to be our X-Men.
But were you rooting for them?
If
it cost human casualties up there, did you want to see Cyclops taking out some humans that were working aboard this ship?
No, I wasn't rooting.
You weren't rooting.
No, and I agree with you as far as it seemed like he was just mind controlled or just like blank slated or just kind of defeated. And the art did great at showing that too. The wording did it, but also the art.
Again, that coldness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I don't know. We'll see what comes. Like White Queen walking in there like she owns the place and saying this to the humans. Obviously, the White Queen is a bit of a jerk always, and Sabretooth is much more than a jerk.
Yeah.
But I didn't want her to walk out of there with Sabretooth. I wasn't on the X-Men side there either. I was on the human side saying, wait, this guy is essentially a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's laughing and literally saying, I cannot wait to kill all of you if I get the chance. I can't wait to kill again.
Yeah.
No, don't take this guy.
Don't take him out
no,
of there.
I'm not rooting for you guys. So I think this is gonna, again, I think it's inevitably racing towards another death of Moira's.
It's a brave new world, but for what cause?
Maybe that'll be the final panel, Moira's death, in the final panel, the final issue. And then maybe the X-Men, and we'll have to anticipate Moira coming back into the...
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's just kind of my feeling.
We'll find out.
I like Dr. Gregor talking with Karima. I like that the human doctor, as Karima, the Omega Sentinel, is saying, I think you're making a big mistake.
Yeah.
And the human's like, no, I think that we're on this.
Yeah.
Karima's, who is a Sentinel, is saying, this is a terrible choice.
Yeah. I'm letting you know, as one of them, this is not a good idea.
Also cool that, I liked that Dr. Gregor was his name because I think it's one of the most well-known opening sentences in literature by Kafka. I believe it's, one day Gregor Samsa awoke to discover that he had turned into a bug or something like that. It's the novella Metamorphosis.
See, another thing, Hickman's a genius, just throwing all these things in there.
It's just
throwing them. No, like we said, Nightcrawler though, and jumping in.
I think he was the highlight of this issue.
Yeah.
It was such a joy to see Nightcrawler. He's always one of my favorites.
Look at that shot.
I know. Like I was saying, like a wink and a smile. He's got that devilish kind of grin.
Yeah, just...
He's so cool. It's such a joy to see him again. I feel like he's a friend I haven't seen for years, and it kind of is.
Yeah.
I've been reading. I reread my X-Men collection often, but seeing him in a new light, a new artist, a new writer, it is a wonder. He's a great character, and those few panels, that little blip that right there, that's the X-Men, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna. There's no looking back.
There's no looking back.
You are gonna become an X-Men addict.
Who was the guy at the end?
That was the Doctor's husband.
Okay.
And it just felt like two lead scientists.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting point, because I felt with his words at the end more humanity.
No, it was crazy. That moment, I even had to reread it because I'm like, did I just feel for this guy? And I have no idea who he is.
Within a panel, I have no idea if they even said his name.
I was like, and I went back. I was like, did he just? And the whole no, and like that, the panel of her crying, and I'm like, why do I care so much? Right? It's like, but it is. It's just like, no, it's the X-Men. They're good.
Right.
They can't. I mean, you're over here trying to stop them.
Yeah, we were anticipating some of the X-Men going up there as almost suicide bombers, you said. And this guy literally sacrificing himself in a deliberate bomb. The pacing of those words that Hickman did at the end, we kind of realize what he's doing. The same moment that his wife is realizing it. And literally within 4 panels, oh my God. And you flip, and an explosion, and we're thinking about this human's husband. Yeah. And we're not thinking about any of the X-Men
you forget
that potentially
all that.
blew up.
When he's like, no, just go on, build a better world. And I know I joke about it a lot. I wish we would have had kids. It's like, what? I got goosebumps. It's like, jeez, are you kidding me? And then, like you do, panel by panel, you're just like, nah, dude, come on. Like, and for it to be 1 page of just like, wow, that's good.
I think that is masterful comic book storytelling. And I think it's one of the first times, at least you and I, while we've been doing this, you've felt it emotionally.
Oh yeah, no, this is probably so far on what I've read where I'm just like, I had to, boom, to where I know I will recall this issue and this page as though I had watched it in a movie or as though I watched it, because it's that moment of like, oh yeah, that's right, that was in a comic, huh? That wasn't in a, like, kind of thing. So it was, awesome. And then for it to end with the explosion, and you're like, dang it, is it next Wednesday?
It's funny, the comic book cliche of ending it with an explosion happens so often. But this one, that's pretty awesome.
Because it's their ship,
just
too.
Just you talking about it and that it had that impact on you, I've felt that experience with comics often.
Yeah.
And potentially to a point that maybe I take it for granted. The power that the medium literally can do and can affect you in a way that is words, pictures, manipulating your emotion. It's pretty special. Yeah. And I think that one, that little ending and how we just talked about it, boosted it up half grade for me. Right. It really did.
Because for it to leave as, I had to actually recalculate, being like, and read it again and go the last 2 pages because I was just like, wait, this guy died? Why do I care about it? Oh my God, that was so sad. I'm like, well, that was intense. Wait, that's their ship.
And they're all on
them. And that was the last thing I thought about.
Right. And that's why that goes into support of what I'm saying. I think Hickman is doing it deliberately. He doesn't throw that human character in there, real humanity, carelessly. There's so much happening there. Yeah. And it is an afterthought that,
they're on.
The X-Men team that was really cool to see assemble are all on there. Yeah. So I think this is going to end with with...
And for it to end with that quote that it started with.
Mm.
With the, for you to die, you would have to be forgotten. And
Yeah.
no one forgets a founder of a nation.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to the title again.
Yeah.
Once more into the breach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he could start X-Men #1 and say, once more into the breach.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Moira in the
Yeah.
womb. Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. After this cool, fun talk with you and having that reaction to you, I would give this a B+.
Ooh, he gave it a B+. I gotta be a fan, you know? I'll give it an A.
Nice.
I'll give it an A because it's...
Love it.
And probably one of the best kickers to it to give it an A is that I can give it an A, but in their language.
Yeah, that's funny that last week we were like, we don't have the patience to work out.
And it's like he
decode
knew
this.
we didn't. Like, there's a lot of people who did decode it.
Yeah,
tons.
absolutely.
But then it's like, okay, if you're still along the ride now,
Yeah.
here's the alphabet.
I bet it feels like the people that put the effort into
I know, they're
decoding
just
it
like,
are
It's an A as a whole, but as also an A within the story. Like if I were to just start on this
Yeah.
issue, you know, it's like what
he
I...
tightened a lot of threads here.
Yeah.
Now that we are done halfway, I'm going to go back and reread the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think. I think that he's really established everything pretty excellently at a halfway point. Moving
Yeah,
forward,
yeah.
I don't really, I have that theory about the ending, but I don't know really what to expect moving forward.
Yeah, and even in this one with the explaining her life leading up to this, which is everything we've just read in the last few issues. So now for next week to be House of X4, it's just going to continue.
Yeah, this is 2 issues of House of X in a
So
row.
are we just?
I bet that this
we
is
have
gonna-
to just figure out now what just happened.
Yeah,
Right?
Nightcrawler teleported them all.
Yeah, just we made it, guys.
Or maybe not. Hickman has pulled
Yeah.
some good rope-a-dopes here. Who knows?
I'm interested.
We'll see. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say.
Yes. So we're going to have a comic quality poll. So just click above here. Let us know if you give it an A, B, C, D, or F. And then in the comments below, let's keep this conversation going.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining, guys.
To be continued.
Oh no. I think these guys are going to start circling. We'll have to, every time the helicopter comes. And pause.